YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I got a movie review for you guys. This is Terminator Dark Fate. I saw this yesterday. I really didn't get a chance to review it the day that I saw it because it was Sunday and I had a lot of stuff going on. But I figured I would give you guys a spoiler-filled review for this movie. Talk about some scenes that I liked, some scenes that I didn't, and just overall just go over this film to give you guys my thorough opinion on what I feel about Terminator Dark Fate. Thank you guys for watching. I am Jody Joe. I appreciate you guys for being here. And once again, Terminator Dark Fate movie review. So this movie is that the Terminator franchise just in itself has been set in a weird position in the last few months because James Cameron, after Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, the best two Terminators, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines came out, which was, I think around July 2004, around that time. Terminator 3 wasn't as good. It was a kind of a fall off. And then you had that Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale. That was like, meh. And then you had Terminator was it Genesis? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Genesis. That was and then you have Terminator Dark Fate. So what James Cameron did was, we were kind of fed up with the Terminator franchise, but what James Cameron did to trick us was he let the world know that, hey, I put my stamp of approval on Terminator Genesis, because a lot of us were skeptical. I know I was when Terminator Genesis came out. The only reason why I really gave it a shot was because of Emilia Clarke, Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, and because James Cameron, who I had some amount of respect for back then, said that, hey, stamp of approval. Went to go see it. He lied. Trash. And now he tried to backtrack his statement. Sauce. So then here we are with Dark Fate. You know, I have a YouTube channel now, and naturally, you know, I have to watch movies that I know are going to be bad. Just off seeing the trailers for Terminator Dark Fate, I was turned off completely. It reminded me of just another typical female empowerment over all males ain't shit SJW massacre timepiece to one of the greatest franchises of all time, which is now not one of the greatest franchises of all time. And it's not just due to Terminator Dark Fate. It's been trashed, let's keep it real, for the last 10 years now. We haven't had a great Terminator movie since T2. And that was what, 1994, 95, whatever the freak. Long time ago. So here, Terminator Dark Fate, what happened with this franchise is James Cameron himself said, we are removing the canon of Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale, and Terminator Genesis. All those they didn't happen, they don't exist, it's not real, they're gone. Take them out of your memory. The new trilogy is Terminator 1, T2 Judgment Day, and this film, Terminator Dark Fate. So I put my mind state in Terminator 2 time. All right, Terminator 2 ends. Now let's see what's going on. Now here we are, some 20-something years after the events of T2 take place in the modern day, where this girl in Mexico, her name is Danny or Gabby. I think her name is Danny. She has this brother named Diego, who's going to be a singer. Dead. They killed him like I knew they were, because you can't have this guy, this man, around these three women. So I already knew his character was gonna die off, and sure enough, he did. So they play these machine workers, and they really rushed the beginning of the film to let you know that Danny's special, because they fired the brother and they kept Danny because somehow she's just good at her job, better than her stupid singer beefcake brother, and she's the smart one. So they kind of try to let me know that she's very capable. It goes right into it. We get a huge big explosion like we normally get of the teleporting booming from the future. We get an explosion of this naked chick. I freaking forgot her name already. Oh my God. I'm sorry about this. I forgot her name already. I know her name. They said it a lot, but I figured I had this on my own. I didn't have to look. Grace. There we go. Her name is Grace. She is a hybrid cyborg, machine body, human, organic android from the future who was sent to the past To protect who? Guess. Danny. To protect Danny. And instantly I'm like, this seems very familiar to me. Like I've seen it 100 times. And we get in the very next scene, you get the scene of another explosion. Oh, there's the bad guy. Oh, the bad guy's liquidy, huh? Oh, so he'll be hard to kill. Once again, the bad guy is OP and he's cheating. So for the first time, we have a chance to make two robots where actually the girl has an ability to defeat the bad. But no, it's always the bad robot that comes to kill you is always stronger than the good one that's trying to protect you. And oh, how is that familiar? I feel like I've seen that a million times. You catch my drift? That's going to be like a reoccurring element here when I'm talking about this movie, because this movie, there is nothing new or fresh that really gives it the fans, quenches the thirst that the fans have for this film, for this franchise to be anything. It just doesn't quench. It doesn't fulfill the craving and the hunger that we have. It just gives us nothing. It leaves us starving. And I'm glad that I didn't take this film seriously before coming in, because narratively, the script for this movie it's terrible. So you mean to tell me that you're showing John Connor and Sarah Connor living their lives on a tropical beach after the Terminator killed himself into the lava, and in comes this CG looking Arnold Schwarzenegger T-800 and shoots little bitty John Connor. First of all, I just gotta tell you, the visuals of this movie are terrific. That's just one of the good things that I liked. Off top, CG, the visuals, the de-aging, whatever they did with Sarah Connors, making her look young like that, kudos. I don't know how they did it, but it's some of the best I've ever seen. The same with John Connor. And he kills John Connor, and she's sitting there moping and weeping, and then we get a 20 years later segment to where she now is the one who's coming to save, because this bad robot has been after her from the get-go, and Grace comes out of nowhere and protects her. So all of a sudden we're seeing this girl, Danny, at her job, running from two people, and a lot happens. It throws a lot at you very quickly. This film relies on your Terminator knowledge of knowing how the story goes. It's like they just wanted to progress through this part of the plot of telling you why they coming from the future, what they do, how they do it. They just kind of like, oh, they understand how that works. Just go ahead and put that in there, and they'll pretty much get the story along. And that's exactly what they did. And you're seeing this great action set piece of the fighting. I'm going to say that it started off shaky cam in the beginning of the film, and it made me worried. The only place that I remember shaky cam that I'm like, what the frick is going on with this director, was when she came out of the boom tube time portal naked, and they were trying to not show her body parts in certain action scenes. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But after that, the shaky cam subsided, and the action set pieces were quite good. They just didn't have heart. They didn't have a soul, because the script and the characters meant really nothing. This is like Star Wars Episode 7 copying A New Hope again. It's the same thing. This is Terminator Dark Fate trying to copy Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 to make it seem like we ain't going to connect the two and we'll just be happy with that. James Cameron, freak no. It doesn't work like that, bruh. You can't rehash shit that we've already seen, put a new freaking brand on it, throw it out there, make it SJW full of women. And what kills me about you, James Cameron, is that you were the man who criticized Patty Jenkins, and you criticized the Wonder Woman film and said that is not female heroism. You said it was your Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, she's a real female heroine. A Sarah Connor that you haven't made until today. Now time to jimmy up, my dude. You made your Sarah Connor. This is your female heroine? Nigga, please. If I had a wet glove, I'll beach slap you with it after saying some shit like that. With this weekend, this character you came with freaking 6 packs a day, Sarah Connor. How are you doing? I'm here to say I'll be back. I kill Terminators. That's what I do. Why are you here? You son of a bitch. I'm going to kill you when I get a chance to. And I'm like, God dang. Like I said on Jody's Corner Live, it's like she smokes 6 packets a day and then takes the ashtray and and she doesn't even drink it with water, bruh. Freak, her voice is raspy, and you could tell she probably smokes cigars and shit, bruh. It's bad. So you mean this is supposed to be what a true female heroism is about? Tough and strong and bold and empowering? She was a hater the entire movie. Hating on anything that had a machine to it. Hating on the girl who was clearly saving Danny. Hating on the freaking T-800 who clearly wasn't the same T-800 from T2. So we're over here looking. So we see that the T-800, Arnold Schwarzenegger's robot, is in the woods and he's living on his own and he's sending these messages to Sarah Connor. It doesn't explain how he gets the messages in a, let's say, a way for dummies. You know what they chop it up to? Like a transcendent feeling across time space. That's how they described it. Like a transcendent feeling through time. He just gets the knowledge with the time warps and a little cut and crease and just it's like fate. It just comes to him. And that's how he was relaying the messages of where Terminators would fall, where androids would drop, and Sarah would go and kill them. And I like the little riff how they did for John to try to bring some redemption because he's the one that actually killed John. But I'm wondering to myself, I'm like, why the freak do I care about this android version when he ain't the one that's the OG? The real OG that we knew and loved melted a long time ago in freaking the 1990s, 92, 95 version, T2 Judgment Day. So this is a totally different robot. And you know what? I'm like, why did he kill John Connor in the freaking first place? You mean to tell me that they sent another robot from the future with the same mission as the other robot to still kill John Connor when she already saved the future by what she did, by what they did with Terminator 2, destroying the arm, claw, Cyberdyne being destroyed, and then his chip getting melted in the lava? You mean to tell me that they still said, even though there's Judgment Day, so they were just mad. Oh, you ruined my plan. Send another machine to kill that boy. Get the freak out of here. So it was just an extra machine out there that had the John Connor kill him plans, and he randomly popped up on the beach. Man, freaking missed me with that shit. That shit is stupid. It's retarded as heck. So all right, let's roll with it. He kills John Connor, and now he's old, and they go to see him in the hut, and naturally, Sarah Connor wants to kill him. I'm going to kill you when I get the chance. Just saying right now, whenever we're done with this, I'm going to kill you. And he explains how he had this learning curve of what it's like to love for an android, not the way humans love, as he described it. He started, after he killed John Connor, he didn't have a mission, he didn't have a purpose, so he just drifted off somewhere, probably into an alley where a woman was getting beat by her boyfriend. He walked in the house, probably beat the shit out of him, and then ever since then, he stuck around. Claims the boy for his son, been living with this woman all this time, and she ain't never had sex with him. We do not have sex. I am a handyman. I'm around when I'm around. We don't bond like that. So you mean to tell me this chick been with you for over a decade and y'all ain't never bumped uglies? She doesn't know you're an android. She doesn't know that you are a machine. She's never tried to lick your balls, see it, grab it, touch it on accident one time. You ever take a shower with her? Bruh, miss the heck out of me with that shit. Oh, bullshit. Oh, trash writing. Whew. Bruh, watch out. This shit is done. Anyway, moving on. So the number one problem that I have with this movie is, yes, it's the characters. The characters just aren't fleshed out. They're soulless, hollow rehashes of what we've already seen over and over. This is a T2 Judgment Day remake, bruh. How is this a sequel? This feels more like a reboot than a sequel. They should have called this a reboot or something, because it feels more like just solid rebooting than an actual sequel to T2. Because you did the Liquid Man from T2, and now he's a Liquid Man who could split apart and have an exoskeleton and liquid form, which is freaking crazy, man. I hated the most part how they keep getting away from this freaking bad Terminator motherfucker. The Gabriel. Is it Gabriel? The Rev 9. Yes, the Rev 9. His name is Gabriel, and he's a Rev 9 unit. They keep running away from him like, oh, they'll get in a car. They'll shoot him. Pow! Get in a car. Drive. Drive to another state. This nigga's Michael Myers. He just pops the freak up, bruh. It's like he doesn't travel. The coincidental instances within this script are so bad, they stick out like a sore thumb and they freaking annoy me. Here we go. He pops up. There was a scene in this film where he legitimately, they get in an airplane on an Air Force base. They fly the plane in the sky, hundreds of miles an hour. And the Rev 9 is fighting with the T-800 Carl / Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Arnold Schwarzenegger proceeds to throw a car at this nigga. And he flies off of the plane, falls into a tool shed at a backyard barbecue, and starts to walk. I'm sorry about your tool shed. So he's walking. Mind you, there's a plane that he just fell out of, going hundreds of miles an hour. They have a hour plus head start going 400 miles an hour. Tell me how in the next scene, he's flying next to him. How? Where you get a plane that fast and then catch up to the motherfuckers, bruh? Where? He keeps popping up, and the script is written this way. Oh, villain pops up here. How does he pop up when he just got thrown out of the plane? I don't know. He flies the plane. It's a faster plane. Bullshit, bro. That shit. I'm like, what is he doing? This thirsty bad guy. He falls in the water. There he is, looking at you and shit. In order to get the entire third act into this dam, where the third act goes down, this is what the writer said we're gonna do. This is how we get everybody in the dam. We're gonna have the plane halfway blown up, falling, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump out of the plane in a Hummer with a parachute. So the plane is going hundreds of miles an hour gone, and the Hummer is floating. It's falling, it's falling, it's falling. So the planes should be already gone. But somehow when I spend these next 3 minutes in midair, mind you, lifting the parachutes like Grace did, so the Hummer, like Fast and the Furious, is floating with a parachute. All of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, so they got away from the bad guy. Bad guy's on that plane somewhere and shit. So they're good. Lo and behold, you look up, oh, it's him in the plane. The crashed, burning, half-gone plane somehow did a U-turn and came back, bruh. Right to how? It's stuff like that just freaking slap me in the face. Like, what the freaking? You can't come up with more clever. I liked how Terminator 2. Have you seen this boy? Hi, Mom. How's Wolfie? Is he crying? Wolfie's fine, honey. Everything is okay. Your parents are dead. I remember good old-fashioned cop work. That's how he found motherfreakers, bruh. And when he got kicked in the face or knocked off the building, he had to run. And when he could run, he couldn't catch up with a car, he'd stop running. And you'll see him later how he followed you. This shit just makes this motherfreaker pop. He's legitimately has superpowers. Pop up anywhere ability. And it just annoys the shit out of me. And how are we supposed to care so much about a robot that isn't even the robot that we knew to love? The one that melted from T2, and we have this one named Carl. And I admit that it was really nice to see him fighting for Sarah, fighting for the girl. And I'm like, I will help you protect the girl. I will go on your mission with you. And I'm like, this shit is just so put together. It's such a formulaic movie. Like the way it's weird because this movie is competently directed with the action. This movie has great action scenes. I'm not gonna lie. The CG of this movie looks really good. Like, this is a beautiful looking film. I saw this in Dolby. The sound, the score was pretty good. The score was okay. But when sometimes you get that score when Arnold Schwarzenegger was eventually about to sacrifice himself, you heard the sacrificial score. I'm like, okay, it's gonna go down. That was nice to hear and stuff like that, but I mean, my God, man, you got so much attention put to making this film look beautiful that you forgot the heart and soul of what Terminator's all about. The time travel making sense, the story, the plot, the characters, the bond. Grace, Mackenzie Davis, who played Grace, you know what? She did a pretty good job. I'm not even lying. She did a pretty good job for the character she was playing. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like she was outmatched in this film, and that's how they write it, usually how they write Terminator films. But this woman, Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, she didn't have any purpose in this movie. She was a tag-along. They gave her that crazy intro, made her look like she was awesome and bad. And then she goes down the hill. When she first shows up, she goes down the hill to try to finish off that Terminator. Good thing they did steal your car, Linda, because if they didn't steal your car, bitch, you'd be dead. Because he would have freaking melted right back together and freaking killed you. Plot hole. So anyway, she shouldn't have been in this film. She's just really a tag-along. She was literally put in here for fan service. Talk about a plot device, you feel me? Linda Hamilton was put in here to scratch the itch of sweaty fans. That's why she's here. Arnold Schwarzenegger is put in here for the same purpose. Mackenzie Davis and Natalia Reyes and Danny and Grace with the bad guy, they couldn't carry this movie on their own. They couldn't. So he brought in the A team, and I just it hurts because if they actually took time to flesh out some characters more, if they took 3 more months and edited some of this script and just really made scenes more believable and just take time on the fine details, you would have had a freaking good movie. Because there is a scene where she says something about some SJW bullshit on a bridge. Women, they said with Danny, they thought that she's gonna give birth to the son that's going to call. Oh my God! Now it hits me in the face. Oh God! Oh my God! They thought she was gonna give birth to the son that's gonna cause. What did they call it? They called it somewhere, not Judgment Day, but Solace Quantum, some shit, a Judgment Day part, Elseworld Judgment Day, and he was like, it's not that, it's you. It's not some man that's gonna come from you. It's you, the woman, that's gonna save the world. And I'm like, oh God, where are the freaking pamphlets? Freaking, oh my God, preach that shit somewhere else. So I'm rolling my eyes in that scene. What blows me away is they actually legitimately did Skynet all over again. There's a new Skynet with a whole nother name. Like, this movie pisses on Terminator 2. It pisses on the first 2 movies, and yet this is supposed to be the sequel to help us come back and enjoy this shit? Skynet was fixed. Skynet was destroyed. And out of that came another world from the future where Skynet happened again in a coincidence, Murphy's Law bullshit. What the in my future, the world and technology turns on itself. Where have I heard that before? And then it destroys all life on Earth, and there's a few humans left that scavenger together and build and bind an army and a resistance. Where have I heard that before? It's like, who wrote this? Who did write this shit? Let me find the writer so I can send them freaking a doo-doo bag. Writer. Oh, James Cameron. Good for you, James. Ah, James. Good old James. You freaking suck. And your Avatar movies are going to suck too. Man, you done effed up. You done made 5 of them bitches. You got billions of dollars invested in them. Them shits are going to suck. You are freaking hating on Wonder Woman, bruh. And you came out with this SJW filth. Man, Wonder Woman destroys this shit for female heroism. This shit, Wonder Woman makes me feel hopeful. It makes me look up to women like, yo, you doing it. These bitches was annoying. That little girl, Danny, the little girl who was a scared teenager. My brother, my family. All of a sudden in the third act, we need to stand and we need to fight. We need to take it to them. To where the robots were like, I don't think that's wise. We shouldn't do that. No. We need to fight now. I'm ready to die for this shit. What's up? Let's go. Yeah. I'm like, who the freak? This bitch turned into Rambo in 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, now she ready to die. Tight. She a G overnight for sure. Shit is crazy, man. It's and then here we go. They have this Skynet bullshit, which is dumb, rehash, trash. Wipe my butt with that shit. Diarrhea booty wipe. Now we have the point where the sheet is solved. He puts a battery in them, melts them, some shit. Terminator kills, blah, blah. Red eye, dull away. Ugh. And we're at the end of the movie, right, where there's a scene where Danny and Grace, they go to, Danny and Sarah Connor, they go to, because Grace dies, spoiler alert. They go to a park where Grace is a teenager and living in the present time. And she goes and looks over them. So she's like, I refuse to let something happen to the. So the ending of this movie is basically a huge warp cycle. So what's going to happen is this movie stopped nothing. At the end of the day, this is a pointless movie. I feel so sorry for the Terminator fans who are really holding on to hope that this would bring you back. But this was the ultimate slap in the face and just brings the question of, why did you make this shit? Because nothing got fixed. Nothing got solved. What's going to happen is the world's going to destroy itself again. There's going to be I forgot what they called their Skynet. I forgot what they called it, the name for it. They had some weird freaking name for it. Let's just call it Skynet because let's keep it 100. It's Skynet. Skynet is going to happen again. It's going to attack the world. She's going to be starving. Girl's going to show up. Grace is going to be starving. People are going to try to jump her. Grace is going to show up. Take care of her, have her join the resistance. Loop, nigga. It's still going to happen. They did not stop anything. The end of the world is still going to happen. They can't stop the Earth from using the technology and building the sheet. They can't. And it's going to show you that it's just a never-ending loop, man. And like she dies from coming to the past, but her present self still lives, which is different. Time travel is how y'all look at it. You know what I'm saying? This movie accomplished nothing. They're right where they started from the beginning. This whole movie was about just not killing Danny. That's it. The movie's complete existence for why Arnold Schwarzenegger teamed up with him, why the bad Terminator came, why freaking Linda Hamilton came, is to protect Danny so she doesn't die. Why? Because she's going to be important. Important why? Because the world's going to end. It's going to freaking be Skynet blowing up shit. Nukes. What plan do we have to stop it? You know, like in T2, we had to stop Skynet and shit. What plan do we have to stop this next apocalyptic boom? I don't know. But I know this whole movie, we're going to spend the whole movie making sure Danny don't die. What you trying to do, James? You trying to write a sequel for this shit, bro? Miss me, bro, because this shit box office bomb, baby. This shit made only $29 million in North America opening weekend. 130 million, something like that, or worldwide. Flop! As it deserves so. There's also another thing that I need to talk about. Let me just finish this rant on James Cameron. James Cameron, you're a cowardice, hating old man, bigot piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't give Alita the credit and clout. You pushed its date back, ruined its box office because you are afraid of Star Wars. Alita got botched and wrecked. That's the real product you should have been looking forward to, not Avatar. And then you talk shit about Wonder Woman and all these other superhero movies, and you release this shit for your answer. Also, this is your Titan, huh? Trash. Get the freak out of here. James Cameron, you come off as a freaking salty, bigoted old man who ain't conforming to the way the new world is working. Honestly, you lost your sauce, bruh. Avatar was an okay movie. Some people could say it's a good movie. I'd say it's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. I give that movie a B. So the last movie you had of some quality is Avatar 10 years ago. Shut your whore mouth after this shit. I don't want to hear shit from you, bruh. You're a washed up motherfreaker, bruh. You're washed. You ain't got it no more. Sad to say, some of you old folks ain't caping with this new day and age. Ask Steven Spielberg. He ain't had nothing hot in a very long time either. Both of y'all motherfuckers have suffered from the same thing. Only difference is Spielberg ain't freaking saying bullshit all the way as much as you are. Freak James Cameron, man. That's how I feel about it. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to talk trash, you best back that up with your film. If you're going to talk trash as a basketball player, you best back that shit up on the court. You're going to talk trash in the streets, you best back that shit up when it come knuckle up time. You know what I'm saying? And it's no different here with you, bro. Talk as much as you want. You're like Mayweather. He talked trash. Undefeated. Deservingly so. You gonna talk all this trash and you ain't coming up with no hotness? Sit down, old man, and move out the way so some new younger directors who actually have passion can make some of these movies. Because you are officially in the way. Now, last thought. When it comes to the box office, this movie Bond only made $29 million. But let me tell you a little bit of a story about my theater. I went to Dolby, and I looked at the app so I could buy the seats in advance before I get there. And I'm looking at all the seats were like bought, like in the great areas. I'm like, dang, man, this theater looks packed. So I had to buy the row C, which is the third row from the screen. A little bit closer than I would like to sit. But I said, all right, let's do it. I get the seats, get to the theater, get the seats. And I look at the screen. Before I get the seats, I look at the screen and it's all filled up. She was like, you only can choose here. I said, all right, fine. I'll choose there. Because everywhere surrounding it, there's people sitting there. At least according to these green numbers on the screen they are. I get into the theater and every row around me is empty. Nothing to the sides, nothing to the left or the right, or even directly behind me. And I look up into the theater and I'm seeing it's not full. So I'm saying to myself, why is my theater 40% full, yet 90% of the movie tickets were bought up? I'm like, all right, people are late. I'm like, cool. An hour into the movie, no one showed up. And I'm looking like, I couldn't pick this seat over here because it said somebody was sitting there. Where they at? Disney's buying tickets, y'all. Even with the $29 million flop. Now, there's a couple of reasons. I believe Disney bought Captain Marvel tickets. I believe Disney's going to be buying Han Solo, Last Jedi. Man, Disney's buying tickets, bruh. I couldn't believe it. I said, what the freak? The theater was really 40% full and 80 to 90% of the tickets were bought up. So I said to myself, well, maybe it was a football team that was trying to come see Dark Fate and they crashed and they couldn't make it. I'm like, okay, that's possible. But how would that explain how the seats are all over the theater scattered around? Wouldn't they all be together if they're a team or a group or a party or something like that? Throw that out the window. At the end of the day, Disney's out here buying ticket seats, bruh. I should have took a picture of it, but just take my word for it. The shit was real, bro. Somebody bought them seats and didn't come see the freaking movie. Who would do that? Fox is owned by who now? Disney, bruh. Disney, I'm onto your shit. Not even you could save this motherfucking movie, especially for me. I give Terminator Dark Fate a C-. Mediocre! It gets that mediocre grade minus style. Because at the end of the day, this does have some good elements to it. It does have some good competent directing. It has some great action set pieces, and the CGI is terrific looking. Sometimes it's like, okay, oh, they should have took more time on that. But overall, great CGI. Visually, audio, stunning. It's a pretty chick that's dying on the inside with cancer. That's all it is. An empty shell. Hope you guys like my review for Terminator Dark Fate. Put down in the comment section what you guys think about it. What is your grade? And how do you feel about Disney buying seats in the motherfucking movie theater, bruh? To the point where I can't even sit in a good part. Disney, if you're going to buy the seats in the front where you know you taking the good, comfortable seats for people to see what the freak going on. Put down in the comment section below. Jody's Corner merch right down below. Click a shirt. Take a picture. I'll put you on my channel. Also, members, click that join button to get all the sponsorship tier perks that you can get. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.